Hello everyone and welcome back here to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Joelle and I am a full-time reseller on several platforms, but Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Depop are my main ones. And today we have a what sold video. So instead of going over every single sale, we are going to talk about 15 notable sales from all of my platforms. This time around, my only notable ones are from Poshmark and eBay. I did have some Mercari sales. I don't think I had any Depop ones from the past couple of weeks. But one thing I will say about the past couple of weeks is that it was a period of bread and butter sales. So I'm very happy with my sales. They're definitely steadily increasing as we kind of enter that back to school phase. Lots of shoppers are coming back online and looking for secondhand items. And if this is your first what sold video that you are watching on my channel, when I talk about notable sales, I am specifically talking about brands or styles that I consider BOLOs, but most importantly, these are pieces that if I found them again while I was outsourcing, I would pick them up. So like I said, we have 15 sales to talk about. First, we are going to talk about Poshmark sales. And first up, for $22 on an offer sent by the buyer, this was a $25 listing. I sold this new at tags, John Galt navy blue pleated skirt. If you don't know, John Galt is kind of a sub-brand or a sister brand of Brandy Melville. I'm not really sure how it works, but I know that they are often sold at the same stores, including at the actual Brandy Melville store. It is not always the best brand to resell, but if I find something like this that's a really good trendy style, I'm definitely going to pick it up for the right price. This specific skirt cost me $4.89 and it racked up a lot of attention on all of my platforms. It did end up taking about 6 months to sell, but I had sold a previous one for $15. I picked them both up at the same time, both new at tags, and this was a huge academia piece, and so this was a keyword heavy listing. So for this listing, after fees and cost of goods, I profited $12.71. Next up is something that I would consider a BOLO bread and butter brand. So for $24 plus discounted shipping on a $30 listing, I sold these LL Bean pink sweater fleece joggers. And these ones did sell within about 2 to 3 months of listing. I picked these up at Goodwill for $1.79, and I do have some experience selling LL Bean in the past. I have sold shackets and pullovers. Most of my listings have sold for around $25 or more. So this was a really successful sale for me, especially because it did sell within 3 months or less of listing, which is usually my target goal. So for these LL Bean joggers, after fees and cost of goods, I made a quick $15.39. Next up, we have another new at tags item. So for $30 in discounted shipping, this was a $50 listing and a 40% offer that I sent out one weekend. I sold these Adidas women's golf pants. These ones retailed for either $80 or $90, and I managed to find them new at tags at Goodwill for $1.79. I know brands like Adidas and Nike can be oversaturated on the secondhand market. I'm very picky with what I pick up. However, this was a piece that I just could not pass up, especially because they were new at tags and because they are golf. So any type of sports specific item, I will typically pick up if the price is right. I also knew that these pants would easily sell at the consignment store if they didn't do well on Poshmark and my other platforms. However, they got a lot of attention on these platforms. So these pants ended up selling within about 2 months of listing as well. And after fees and cost of goods, I made a fairly quick $20.19. Next up is a piece that did not make me a good profit. However, it brought me the quick sale that I really hoped for. So for $15 in discounted shipping, and this was a $25 listing, I sold these new at tags Old Navy Pixie high-rise pants. If you don't know, the Pixie pants are one of Old Navy's most popular lines. So when I did pick this up for $1.79, I knew that they wouldn't bring me the best profit. However, I was very confident that they would bring me a really good sell-through rate. So just looking at eBay, when you search Old Navy Pixie pants, you have 3,300 plus results. And if you search by sold, you have 1,400 plus results. And that is in the past 3 months. So you can rest assured if you do find this pant, you are most likely going to sell it within at least 3 months. Of course, pricing is a huge factor. When I looked at new at tags pants specifically for a size 8, which was the size that I found, $25 seemed like that sweet spot. Of course, you're gonna find ones that are cheaper, but you are also gonna find people that are trying to get closer to that asking retail price. And even though these sold for 40% off, I think they could have sold for around that $20 range as well. But I was still happy with the sale. And after fees and cost of goods, I made a very quick $8.19. because these Old Navy pants sold within less than 1 week of listing. Next up was a first time find for me with this brand. So for $24 in discounted shipping, This was a $30 listing. I sold this Eloquii denim midi skirt. Eloquii is a great brand and they are plus size specific. So I actually Googled it and they only sell sizes 12 to 28. With that being said, they're a very popular and trendy plus size fashion brand. And so if you ever come across it, definitely make sure to run comps. Sold comps aren't always going to be the highest. However, it's one of those brands like those Old Navy pixie pants that generally has a good sell-through rate. So for this denim mini skirt, seemed like a really trendy style. I know that denim maxi skirts are huge this year. Denim midi skirts, maybe just by association, are also selling really well. So this one was really cute. It had some side slits on it and I only paid $1.79 from Goodwill. So this skirt racked up probably a collective 12 to 15 likes. I know I had relisted it once with Posh Sidekick. If you know me, you know that I love talking about Posh Sidekick. I'm not going to take up too much time, but if you all want a really trustworthy, effective automation tool, Posh Sidekick is definitely a good option. I've tried out a lot of automation tools. This one is by far my favorite. I've been with it for about 5 to 6 months at this point, and I don't even think I have complaints about the app. So if you are looking for an automation tool, use code 6637 with the link below. I do have that Posh Sidekick link right at the top of my description for you all to check it out. You can get a free trial with that code, no credit card required, so you can try it out. And you can also get a discount off your first month if you choose to subscribe. But let's get back to the sales now. So like I said, this cost me $1.79. Posh Sidekick had relisted the skirt. It racked up a couple of likes and it ended up selling, I'm pretty sure the same day that it got relisted, for just 20% off and discounted shipping. So after fees and cost of goods, I made $15.39, and this skirt ended up selling within about 2 to 2.5 months of listing. Next up, I have these Grey's Anatomy Royal Blue scrub pants, and these sold on a $17 offer sent by the buyer, and this was a $20 listing. So one thing I will say is that I've been pricing my items a little bit more accordingly, kind of trying to get more full price sales and reasonable offers. I have found that I am getting a lot more reasonable offers. I have been receiving a lot of offers that have been about 10 to 20% off my asking price. So of course I am going to accept them. I was very happy to receive an offer on these pants. They were from my mom, who gave me a lot of clothes to resell, and so my cost of goods were at $0. I love selling scrub pants. Figs is going to be your best brand that you can sell. However, Grey's Anatomy for me is a close second. I have a little bit of experience selling it. For these Grey's Anatomy scrubs, after fees and my zero cost of goods, I ended up profiting $13.60. Next up is a great bread and butter shoe brand. So for $20 on an offer sent by the buyer, I sold these Teva Original Universal sandals. This was the kind of flip-flop kind with the ankle strap. Really great style to sell. However, if you find Tevas, any of those kind of outdoorsy sandals, especially the strappy ones or platforms, are going to sell really well. I had actually originally priced these at $30 and they racked up a lot of likes. However, the sales were not coming. So I felt like maybe the price was a little too high. I ended up lowering the price from just $30 to $25. It wasn't a closeout clear out day or anything. I just wanted to lower that price and then go ahead and just relist it. However, one of the likers ended up sending me a $20 offer almost immediately after I lowered that price. So I was obviously going to accept it, especially because my cost of goods were $0. These were also gifted to me to resell. So if I ever have anything for free, unless it is some novelty, really expensive item, I am going to accept virtually any offer. So with my zero cost of goods and after Poshmark fees, I profited $16 for these Teva sandals, and they sold within about 1 month of listing. Next up is one of my favorite bread and butter brands to sell. I always seem to get reasonable offers or full price sales. I don't know why, maybe it's just a coincidence, but it always seems to happen with this brand. So for $20 plus discounted shipping, I sold this Express Burgundy satin dress. My cost of goods for this was $0. This was something that I've had in my closet for forever. Like I said, Express is one of my favorite bread and butter brands to sell. I always gravitate towards these business and business casual pieces. However, their shoes have sold really well for me in the past, and any type of their kind of nightlife or going out clothing also sells really well. So for this dress, after Poshmark fees and zero cost of goods, I ended up profiting $13.98. Next up, we have a sale that I unfortunately needed to cancel because I had missed a flaw. The buyer never got back to me whenever I messaged them, and so I just ended up canceling, but I still wanted to share it with you all because it is a BOLO brand, would have been a high profit sale, and it sold within 2 days of listing. So definitely sad about this one, but I'm still confident it'll sell well. for $52 and discounted shipping. This was a $65 listing. I sold this Patagonia Chinchilla Fleece Pullover. If you know, you know. This was my first time ever selling one of the very famous, very popular Patagonia Fleece Pullovers. Chinchilla is a really popular line from what I have researched, and this was something that my aunt gifted me to resell. So my cost of goods were $0, which made me okay knowing that I can still list it for a lower price and make a profit. My profit would have been $39.58. It racked up a lot of likes on all of my platforms, and so this is a clear BOLO brand and BOLO style. For this pullover, I'd probably pay up to around $10 if I found it at a thrift store. Even if it's pre-owned, I'm still gonna pick it up because this was a quick sale. If you look at eBay, the sell-through rate's gonna be really good. This wasn't just a coincidence. But like I said, with this Patagonia, profit would have been $39.58. I'm hoping to relist it for around maybe $40 or $45. And after fees and cost of goods, hopefully after a quick sale, I hope to profit at least $20, maybe $25 for this flawed Patagonia. Next up, we have another reasonable offer. So for $38 on an offer sent by the buyer, this was a $45 listing. I sold these Jeffrey Campbell Leno Mule slip-on loafers, and these shoes sold within about 1 week of listing. They did actually sell previously on eBay for full price at $45. However, the buyer said that she ordered the wrong size. So I was upset about that one. Went ahead and canceled the order though, of course, and I was very happy to see that about 2 days later, they sold on Poshmark for barely less than that. Jeffrey Campbell is one of those brands that you have to be picky on. A lot of their stuff doesn't sell very well, especially compared to that retail price. These only cost me $3.20, however, so low enough cost of goods to where I really didn't need to look at sold comps. They were in excellent condition and definitely a cute style. But when I do source this brand, I'm gonna try to find maybe those platforms, really eclectic shoes, really just any type of one-of-a-kind piece, which Jeffrey Campbell has a lot of. So for these shoes though, they did get a lot of attention, definitely made it a keyword-heavy listing, and after fees and cost of goods, I profited a quick $27.20. Next up, we have one of my best-selling brands, not only of 2023, but also back in 2022. So for $32 in discounted shipping, on a $40 listing, I sold this Athleta Balance hoodie, and this only cost me $1. So the profit ended up being really decent. For Athleta, even though it's one of my more popular brands, I'm still very picky with it. So I almost always avoid tank tops and crop leggings. I will only pick up leggings if they are 7/8 or full length. I also like to pick up any type of pants like the Brooklyn jogger or the Cabo linen pants. And I've also recently been finding a lot of outerwear, sweatshirts, hoodies, stuff like this. And I've had really good success selling it all. So for the $1 cost of goods, this was a no-brainer. It did end up selling within about 2 months of listing. And after fees and cost of goods, I made $22.58 for this Athleta Balance hoodie. All right, we have one more Poshmark sale to talk about, and then we will go into eBay for this last Poshmark sale. Please don't hate on me in the comments. I know this brand gets a lot of hate in general, but I sold this LuLaRoe Minnie Mouse Irma tunic. So this thing took about 1 year to sell. Did sell for $20 in discounted shipping on a $25 listing. So that was the first initial offer that I sent out to the new liker. Very happy to see that they bought it almost immediately. And I put here in my notes, LuLaRoe is not always the best. They had that pyramid scheme scandal, and now it seems like you are seeing LuLaRoe everywhere in the thrift stores, even more than ever before. So it's definitely one of those oversaturated brands. However, I did compile a little short list on things that sell well. So this is based off of experience for me. I have sold Disney collabs, the Carly dress, black maxi dresses, blazers, and anything plus size. So LuLaRoe has actually brought me a decent profit. However, I do have a couple of pieces that do not fall under these categories that have been sitting for 1 to 2 years at this point. I don't want to redonate it back to the thrift store because I feel like it's just going to end up in a landfill because I see so much of the brand already at the stores. And me personally, I'm okay with storing items until they sell, especially if I paid less than $1 for them, which is all of these pieces that I picked up. So my cost of goods for this LuLaRoe Irma tunic was just 98 cents. And so after fees and cost of goods, I made $13 total. Now that we're done with our notable Poshmark sales, let's get into these eBay sales. So eBay was okay for me the past couple of weeks. Didn't make a ton of sales, but I can definitely see a slight improvement. So I've been cross-listing consistently. At this point, I'm just trying to continue building up my feedback to try to make myself a little bit more popular on there. So first up, on a $22 offer sent to the watcher, this was a $30 listing. I sold this Musil lace mesh gown. This was a new to me brand, and when I looked it up on Google, I saw that it was sold a lot on Amazon along with other online boutiques. I love selling formal wear, and I've had some luck selling these Amazon brands. They don't always bring the best profit, however, they always seem to sell quick though and get a lot of attention. This dress racked up a lot of likes on all of my platforms and is sold within about 2 months of listing. So after fees and my $1.67 cost of goods, I ended up profiting a fairly quick $17.79. Next up, we have a full price sale. Nothing too impressive, but I was still happy with it. So for $19.99, I sold this Victoria's Secret pink monogram hoodie. I received this in a Poshmark mystery box after winning a giveaway on Poshmark's Instagram, and so my cost of goods was $0. This is one of those pieces that I would probably pick up again. Even though it did take a while to sell, it did rack up a lot of likes. So Victoria's Secret is one of those things that is oversaturated on the market, like Nike and Adidas, especially these monogram hoodies. However, if you do price it right, promote your listings, especially on eBay, I do think you can have a successful sale. So for this hoodie, after fees and cost of goods, I made $17.75, and this sold within about 2 to 3 months of listing. All right, we have one more sale to talk about for this What Sold video, and it is this Anthropologie Field and Flower Silk Blend Abstract Floral Sweater. This sold for $35 on an offer sent to the watcher on a $45 listing. I will post a screenshot of this tag because Field and Flower is a brand that I never heard of. However, Anthropologie has a ton of brands that they partner with and that they sell at their stores. And so if you ever see a tag that is unfamiliar, especially if it's some sort of kind of aesthetically pleasing tag like this, I would definitely recommend that you look it up because it could possibly be an Anthropologie brand. This specific one had really good sold comps, and I think it's a really good transition piece just because it does have that floral pattern. However, the quality on this one was amazing. My cost of goods was just $3.49, and after fees and cost of goods, I profited $27.11. And this sweater sold within about 4 months of listing, which is pretty accurate because I picked this up at the beginning of summer. I do still sell winter items in the middle of summer and summer items in the middle of winter. However, I am seeing an increase in selling these fall items now that we are kind of in that back to school season right before fall starts. We have now gone over 15 of my most notable sales from the past couple of weeks. Like I said earlier, sales are still not where I need them to be. However, I am seeing that increase from the past couple of months. Summer Slowdown definitely hit me hard. Let me know how Summer Slowdown was for you guys. I feel like it can go either way. If you are making those sales, I am very, very happy for you. I still love to see other Poshmark sellers win, even if my sales are not the best. And of course, if you found any sort of value during this video, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button. I mentioned a giveaway a couple weeks ago. I promise I have not forgotten about it, but spoiler alert, it will be a free inventory box that will be sent straight to a lucky winner's doorstep. I did this for my 1K subscriber giveaway. Now I want to do it for my 2K one. So definitely make sure to tune in to my future videos because it could be announced at any point in the next couple of weeks. But that is all I have for you all today. So now that we're at the end of this video, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you for the next video.